Hi everyone, how are you? I hope you're good, and we are going to shoot another episode of our YouTube series, and we're going to talk about a specific subject which my long-term client, Gillian, has been through. She first started with us just over a year ago now, for specific reasons, and she started a journey doing something that's very common, and it's something that we want to discuss. We want to problem solve a little bit. We want to make sure that people get a little bit more awareness around this, and we want to make sure that people are fully aware of how to go and sustain doing what Gillian's done. So first of all, Gillian, if you don't mind telling us, why did you first start here and what did you go through?
So I started at Crown because I needed to improve my fitness, my health and fitness. I was very aware of this. I had just started the process. When it came to my weight, I was addressing issues there. And I'd begun to feel as though I had a little bit more energy. But I didn't really know what to do with that. So I reached out. I saw an ad that you'd put on Facebook, and so I reached out to you then.
Perfect, cool. So obviously you came into the gym, something that obviously wasn't normal to you to start with. Very scary moment for you. And then obviously we spoke a little bit more about you, about obviously the process, and you were going through Mounjaro at the time.
I was.
You were taking Mounjaro at the time, cool.
Yeah.
So again, this is something we want to talk about, and this is the main point of this podcast, because as I said, it's something that people judge. It's something that people, most importantly, don't know how to use properly, in my opinion. And you're a perfect example of somebody that used it for a specific reason, probably didn't have the full knowledge of how to sustain your results from it. But obviously that's what we've now done, which again, we can go into a little bit. So we're going to talk about the process. We're going to talk about how you went through it, and we're going to give people a little bit of actionable advice as well. If that's cool with you.
Okay.
Amazing, perfect. So from the very start, in terms of getting into it, what were your steps? And we're going to go no bullshit. We'll cover everything, if that's okay. And we'll just give people an idea in terms of the process into it. So when did it first start, and how did you go about getting it?
It first started, I had really reached a kind of very desperate situation. I had various different health conditions. I was very obese and had back problems. Something had to give. Something had to give. There's a family history of heart disease, cancer, diabetes. I was pre-diabetic, been pre-diabetic for so many years. And it just felt very much like a ticking time bomb. So Mounjaro, we hear about Mounjaro, we've been hearing about Ozempic for a long time and things like that, came up, and I tried various different diets and tried exercise myself over the years. And things would maybe work for a little while, but it was just not sustainable.
I'm glad you mentioned about your family history, because I think the main thing from this is to not scare people away from it, or give people reasons to use it which it wasn't for, if that makes sense, because it's going to save lives, and it is saving lives. It's saving so many people's lives. However, it's falling into the hands of people that don't know how to use it and basically abuse it. So I'm very glad you mentioned that, because from a health point of view, you're in a position where it's literally changed your life, which is like the main thing. It needs to change people's life, and it needs to now support what you're doing alongside it, which it has done, which is great, and that's exactly what we wanted. So where did you get it from?
I did my research online. Facebook was one thing.
Like
very helpful. You know what it's like whenever you start looking at things online, and then your algorithm changes, and then all of a sudden you're seeing it everywhere. So I was inundated with lots of different companies. All sorts of information was coming in. But I'm quite good at doing my research and things, and had a look at various different reviews. I didn't have any close friends that had been using Mounjaro as far as I knew. Nobody had said anything. So I was kind of going a bit alone here. But having a look at reviews and the support as well that you would get, it wasn't just about the medication itself, it was about the support that you would receive as well from them. So I opted for a company called SheMed, who were great from the offset. Very supportive, very knowledgeable, was able to speak to somebody whenever I needed to. Not only were they providing the weekly check-ins that you would receive anyway, that you would expect with any company, and doing a weigh-in, it was a video call, so they would see my scales, it was great. But there was also the blood tests as well. So you could have your blood test, your blood test was done at the start, and then a few months later, and you would see the progress.
Good. From a health point of view, then it's like a very all-rounded service in that sense, which is great. That's what you want. So obviously, appetite for you was a big thing. Big thing. And it is for most people, not even females, not even age bracket, like for most people, it's a big thing. Especially when you're going through a period where obviously you're not confident, you're not happy with your weight, your body shape, obviously how you feel. So one of the big things about Mounjaro is obviously it suppresses your appetite. Massive part of it, which is great in terms of reaching the end goal for it. How big a difference did you find in your appetite?
Absolutely epic.
Okay.
Absolutely epic, pretty much from word go. Not just the appetite itself, but the food noise as well. You hear a lot about that now, food noise, and it seems as though some people either get food noise or they don't get food noise. I got food noise.
Okay.
And literally from the moment that I would wake up in the morning till I fell asleep at night, I'd be thinking about when was the next time I was going to eat. I remember getting up during the night and letting the dogs out and reaching for a bag of Haribo whilst I was stood at the back door.
Yeah, okay.
Things like that. Traveling in the car, I would have to do a lot of travel, and I'd always want food beside me. You were literally rolling from one meal to the next. Pretty much as soon as I started Mounjaro, even on the very low dose, because it was gradually increased, even on the very low dose, that pretty much subsided. So massive difference.
Cool. In terms of, so obviously like that's the benefit of it, and that's obviously, to start with, it was great to feel that subside with appetite. Was there any side effects in terms of nausea, in terms of you probably got to a stage at night where you were like, I've ate like half a meal today, you've not even managed to eat like a full meal, or you're not, was there any, in your own mind, did you feel as though there was anything that actually wasn't okay with it, or did you actually feel as though the process was quite straightforward with how you did it?
It was fairly straightforward. I was really fortunate when it came to side effects with Mounjaro. I don't have any with Mounjaro. Now later on in the year, things changed with the company that I was with, and the prices increased for Mounjaro, and I was moved over to Wegovy. I did feel side effects from that one, which then led me to stop taking it. But with Mounjaro, absolutely nothing at all. Yes, as the dose increased and my appetite was being more and more suppressed, I did have to physically remind myself that I needed to eat. My husband would do that more, more than me.
Your PA.
What have you? What have you eaten today? But it felt as though it gave me more control. And that I had the time then to process that, and that I had the time to choose what I wanted to eat.
Brilliant, because again, that's the main thing, because if you don't have that support system, not only from the company, but from somebody in your household, from your environment, that can just remind you of that, because how easy is it going to be for so many people who are very driven in the fact that they want to lose a certain amount of weight, to go through their day and just think, oh, I've not ate, but you know what, let's forget about it because we've got this objective. It's going to be so easy for so many people to actually just go about their day forgetting that they need the right amount of nutrients, they need the right amount of vitamins and all these other things that can be easily avoided.
Absolutely.
For sure. In terms of pricing, so obviously, I know you mentioned it there, it obviously has gone up from since you've did it. What was the first price point for you, and how much did it go up by?
Okay, so at the very start, at the beginning of last year, it was £100 a month with SheMed, and then later on in the year, August, September time, that increased as it increased for everybody within the UK. I was given the option of changing over to Wegovy at that point, and the price cap would stay at £100. So I opted for that. If I went over to Mounjaro at that point, it would have been over the £300, and now for that kind of dose that you're looking at, it's over the £300.
But I think it's good to know the price point for people, because in my opinion, for most people that are using it, it should be a short-term solution. And this is obviously what we're going to get into with you. So it should be a case of, yeah, it's an investment in a way. It's obviously, if you do 3-4 months of it, you're probably looking at just under £500. But if you're in a position where you need it for your health, £500 to improve your health and to improve your body shape, and improve your blood, like all these different things that come with it, it's a no-brainer in my opinion.
Absolutely. I think even the money that I saved on buying snacks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Alcohol, snacks, the whole lot.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And mental well-being as well.
Yeah, for sure. And again, that's why I wanted to highlight this and bring awareness to it, because I think personal trainers especially can be so judgmental about these things, and they can jump on trends and bash them, but actually when you look at the bigger picture, there's actually a lot of positive things that can come from it. That's what we're trying to get to. That's the main thing. So talk to me about exercise, because it was pretty much non-existent before.
Yeah, I tried. I really did try. I was thinking about this on my way here today, actually. We have this walk just beside us, live in Helmsdale, and Helmsdale Rock. Beautiful views from up there. It's not a massive walk. It's steep.
Yeah.
But it's not a massive walk. Climbing up there before would kind of be an every now and then kind of occasion, because I would have to stop at least 4 times on the way up there.
Yeah.
And I remember messaging you a few months ago saying, I've just been up here again, kind of thing. And I've made it the whole way without stopping once. So exercise beforehand, walking the dogs, that was about it.
Again, it's good to know, because obviously you had the goal of losing weight, you needed help to do it from a point of view of appetite, but to sustain it, you had to have the physical exercise, you have to have the lifestyle behind it, and you didn't have it. So now that we've done that, and again, it's a red flag for people when I hear they're on Mounjaro, and I'm like, okay, cool, so like what do you do to move your body? And they're like, not much. I'm like, okay, well, that's the missing piece to make this now sustainable, and this actually a healthy process, which you've done. So give us a little lowdown in terms of where you are now with your exercise, because it's gone from 0 to 100 or 0 to 1,000.
I surprise myself sometimes, and it's great with what I can do these days. The other day, just a couple of days when I was driving down the road, and we'd scheduled in a run for that day for me, and I'm thinking, well, I'm traveling down to Dundee, how am I going to fit this in? I've got work and this, that, the next thing. Beforehand, I would never have thought, I'm going to stop in Perth on the way down and just go for a run. Why not? That's what everyone else does, isn't it? Going on holiday, and the first thing I want to do is find the local gym, things like that. So now it's really about, it's almost the first thing that I wake up in the morning and think about, whereas before it would have been food.
That's it.
These days it's right, when am I going to fit this in? When am I doing the run? When am I going to the gym? What am I doing there? And it's basically every day a week in the week now that I'm doing something.
Yeah, pretty much, and not to an extent of doing 10Ks and
no.
all the other fun things you're doing in big EMOMs, no. But I mean, your first instinct is to move your body,
yes,
which is the main thing, which is great. And that's something that a lot of people struggle with. But again, looking at spin it a positive, to start with Mounjaro, because you're losing the weight initially, it feels better when you're losing weight to then move your body. Absolutely. If you're not losing weight and somebody's telling you to do a 20-minute run or a 30-minute gym session, but your body still feels that sluggish weight, it still feels that heavy weight, it's not appealing, is it? No,
it's not. It really was that kind of first little boost that I had to start off with. Just being able to do things. I got to stage, honestly, when I was trying to walk and do bits and pieces, I just couldn't breathe. Even coming in here the first time when I came out of the gym, I felt good.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what people need. They just need that helping hand, that first boost, and that's what it does for a lot of people. Forget the appetite side of things for now, but it just gives people that motivation to put the first step in the door, the running shoes on, and just go and do something that's more active for them.
Absolutely.
Which makes a big difference, for sure. So obviously you've lost a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. Numbers?
So I've lost 32 kilos now.
Okay, cool.
32 kilos since the start of last year. And I'm, in my mind, I would like to lose another 10, and that would make me quite happy. But it's even that has changed as well. Is before it was about the numbers and what I was losing and things, and now it's more about when I'm doing my next 10K or things like that, and the weight will come off. Yeah. That's fine, and working towards this.
Sure. That was my next question, because I see a lot of females who go for Mounjaro and it's very weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. In fact, even without Mounjaro, weight loss. Scales, that's what dictates their mood, their self-worth, dictates a lot. But the perspective then starts to shift. Once you've got that lifestyle behind you where you're active, when you're moving your body, when you're challenging yourself with something like a 10K in Geneva or something like that, your perspective changes. And you're obviously a prime example of this. So from a health point of view, let's spin it and let's go, what do you think are the top 2 benefits from not just losing weight, but obviously going through the whole process?
Wow. Okay, so number 1, mental health.
Yeah, okay, good.
My self-confidence. Yeah, doing things and being with people, it's changed completely. Yeah, but crikey, I used to suffer from chronic pain with my back. I remember being really quite guarded when I first came in, and Cameron, and I've got this really bad back, and I can't do this and I can't do that. And now sit-ups and all this, the next thing, quite the thing. Not having that fear and not relying upon painkillers.
And these are the things that a lot of people don't see. They just see somebody that wants to lose a bit of scale weight for their next holiday or their next whatever, and it's bigger than that. It's so much deeper, so much bigger. People will jump the gun and they'll just say, oh, it's a lazy way to do it, it's an easy way to do it. It's not, because you still have to do the work. You have to do the work, you've got to sustain it, and you've got to work on the other benefits that it's bringing with you, which is the main thing. I think social confidence is a big one as well for you. Your social confidence is fucking night and day. Like a different person socially from when you first came in here, which is incredible. And again, like, it's not all down to the fact that you started using Mounjaro, but that was the kickstart. Because if you didn't start, you wouldn't have come in here. And if you didn't come in here, you wouldn't look the way you did, and you wouldn't feel the way you did, and you wouldn't wake up feeling how you do.
Precisely.
Which is, the main thing, and people need to realise that a little bit more. So what would you say is the most misunderstood part of the process when starting?
Most misunderstood, I would say, it's not a magic cure-all, and it may not work. It may not work for everyone. I've been really lucky in the fact that I've had no side effects when it comes to Mounjaro, quite the opposite, but that may not be the case for somebody else. It's about knowing your own body.
And if you were going to give one piece of advice for anyone that's going to go through the process, what would that bit of advice be?
It's not a cure-all. It's not a cure-all. It is just a tool. Okay, it's just part of the package. It's about the exercise. It's about the diet, the whole thing. Looking at sustainability for the future.
Amazing. So that is us. Hopefully you got some information that you were lacking, or you've just now learned a little bit more about the process, how to sustain the process more importantly, because if it's something you're thinking about starting, it's not just about the first couple of weeks doing it, it's about the long term and your health for years to come. So thank you very much for coming on.
You're very welcome.
Perfect.